phrase we use on my show is talk about cornbread. Now, when I talk about cornbread, I don't mean you need to go start baking. It came from a movie called Life, starring Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. Some of you may have saw it a couple times. Martin Lawrence is in jail with Eddie Murphy and this big guy, man. This guy looked like he just picked everybody up at one time. He says to Martin at lunch, he says, "Martin, you gonna eat your cornbread?" Martin was scared. Martin like, "Hey, you know, I want no problems. I don't want to tussle with this guy. You can have my cornbread." That's when Eddie, because see, Eddie came from the street. Eddie must have been Bernie Sanders support. Because he did his research and he knows when you go to jail, last thing you want to do is let somebody take the cornbread. So Eddie tells Martin, "Man, no way, brother, keep your cornbread." So this is what I mean by that. Cornbread is everything that matters to you. It may be that we stop the TPP. It may be that we end fracking. It may mean that we stop mass incarceration. That's right. It may mean we stop locking up brothers and sisters and poor people for a long amount of time for a little bit of weed, y'all. What's that about? You don't let nobody take your cornbread, meaning you don't let nobody take your voice. You don't let anybody take your ethics from you. You don't let anybody scare you using fear of Donald Trump to get you to do what you would never do. See, if what's inside you, whatever that thing is, right? Like for me, I have ethics. There's things I won't do. There's things I won't say. There's places I won't go because it's the man that I am. I have my sons looking at me, wondering what's dad doing. I'm going to emulate that. See, I got to stand on principle.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. It's you. It's all about you. What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to a very, very early, not late, this is very early, news and rap from your man Tim Black, including a blacklist. So, guys, it's kind of a big deal because I haven't done this before. This is where I get a jump on the day's news, and I kind of get it rocking and get it pumped up with everything that's been going on. Right? So I'm going to give a big shout out to my man Momo Pineno because Momo and I have been talking about this. It's like, you know what? We got to get the news out. We got to get the word out because like there's a lot of, I don't know, what's the term for it? Fake news going about. And if people don't speak up, if independent media doesn't make its presence be known, man, they're already trying to get rid of us with everything they got. Right? That's what they're trying to do. Ain't that right bullshit, man? So we got to speak up. So tonight what I will be doing, or this morning, what I'll be doing is I'll be running through a number of stories. What's going on in your world, my world. So before I get started into that, let me first say, what's up, Facebook? How y'all doing, Facebook? Yep, my Facebook people are in the house. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Glad you could tune in. I know this was not planned. If you're not there, I ain't going to hold it against you. Just go ahead and write me a note. Let me know, you know, when I can stop by. And also, let me give it up to my people on Periscope. I'm doing real well on Periscope. Periscope's doing good, man. Yeah, Periscope's doing well. Like that. Periscope people, man, you know, which is Twitter and Periscope. It's like, it's the same thing. But they use the name Periscope because, you know, Twitter acquired them, I guess, and that's kind of integrated and it worked. But anyway, it's my Twitter people, man. I'm really active on Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, follow me at Real Tim Black on Twitter. All right? And last but not least, the beast from the east and the west and the south and the north. My people who keep it popping. YouTube, Tim Black's Wolfpack. Make some noise. some noise, people. I want to give an incredible shout out to my friends Teslin Figaro, my man, Clifford Spud Johnson, who gave an excellent show yesterday. People are hitting me up telling me how immersed they were in this young man's story. I want you to go check that video out. It's available. It's on my YouTube channel right now. If you're on any other platform, if you're on Periscope or Twitter, go to YouTube, watch it, and follow Clifford Spud Johnson. Go to cliffordspudjohnson.com and pick up his books. He's in Barnes & Noble. He's in millions of books. He's in Walmart. He's in Amazon. He's everywhere. And get your read on. All right, guys. Let's get started. We got a lot to get through. So make sure you got something to drink, something to eat, and you can get comfy because we got a lot to cover. All right. Some of you may be aware of Joe Scarborough from Morning Joe fame, right? Hey, Morning Joe Scarborough used to be a senator. I forget which state. I don't know if he was a senator or a congressman. I think he was a congressman, right? Either way, he used to be in government, okay? I became aware of Joe Scarborough back when Obama was running. Morning Joe, that was the show. I'd be going off to work. It'd be coming on very early in the morning, and I'd catch a little bit of it maybe while I was getting ready to go to my, I don't know what you want to call it, my job, my JOB, right? And, you know, he was a Republican, or he is a Republican. And the reason why I got mixed up there and called him was a Republican, because he went on the Colbert Night Show, and him and Mika Brzezinski, I think his wife, did they get married yet? I don't keep track of that type of stuff. You know, I got enough keeping track of my own life. I don't keep track of people getting married, divorced, unless it's really big news because of it. But anyway, they were on the Colbert Report last night, and Joe Scarborough made an announcement. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski on a tour of talking shit about Donald Trump, and they made a stop at the Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Tuesday night. So I'm still on Wednesday time, but it's Thursday, so a couple days ago. The big news of the evening was that Scarborough announced he's officially leaving the Republican Party. He also condemned Trump's campaign promises to institute a Muslim ban and Trump's comments about District Court Judge Gonzalo P. Curiel. This might read as more momentous if Scarborough had said these things at the time and left the party then. All right. So, like the article that I'm checking out that kind of brought me up to date on this, very scathing of Joe Scarborough. A lot of people are, right? Republicans tend to be, they check one another for how well they uphold conservative values. This is something that's not really present as much in the Democratic Party. In fact, if you check another Democrat on how much do they uphold their, I don't know, liberal policies or the liberal ideals, you get called a Trump supporter. If you check, and I'm serious, guys, I want you to think about it. I know it's a slight divergence, but I want you to understand the ideologies. After covering news day and night, over 2,000 videos in 4 years, a little over 4 years, I can tell you the ideologies are totally different, and also the way they do business is different. Joe Scarborough is getting crucified throughout Republican circles because they say he's violating conservative principles by leaving the GOP publicly, denouncing the president. He's leaving. Joe Scarborough is leaving the Republican Party because he says he does not agree with Donald Trump in the direction of the party and the lack of leadership and the lack of Republicans who are willing to step up and say it's wrong to have a Muslim ban. It is wrong for Donald Trump to be on the campaign trail to say he doesn't trust a judge who happens to be Latino to hear his case. You understand? Joe Scarborough is using what I just spoke about. He's talking about these people lack the principles for which I would stay in the party. But in the Democratic Party side, if you were to question, like I question Cory Booker, I question Nancy Pelosi's ability to be fit as a leader, I question these things of the Democratic Party. And when I do that, I'm called a Trump supporter. Let me go on. Scarborough says this: "It was disturbing through the entire campaign. In February, when he talked about David Duke and pretended he didn't know who David Duke was and didn't know what the Ku Klux Klan did. You didn't have Republicans coming out saying, I can never support Donald Trump because he's a racist. They had 1,000 other excuses why. Until now, Trump has always been in on the joke on his own persona. Now, however, he's over his head. Guess those years of pushing the racist and vile birther movement were just a big joke that got out of hand. Also announced by Joe Scarborough was the fact that he is going to go independent. Yes, he's going to go independent, ladies and gentlemen. Independent. You know, she's going to join the ranks of Bernie Sanders as an independent. There are numerous. There are other independents out there. A lot of independents. In fact, most of the country is neither Republican nor Democrat. So he's actually joining the largest segment of American populace right now by not being in the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. So basically, that's my homie now because he's like me because I'm in neither. Just, you know, add that out. But also, there's the thing that he did that I thought was kind of funny. Joe Scarborough announced that he's going to be launching an album. Yes, he's a troubadour that's anti-Trump. He's a troubadour. And he says he's always loved music. He's always wanted to do that. So he's moving towards that lane of his life. I don't know if he's going to continue the Morning Joe show. I think he will. Probably pays very well. It's always pays a lot to spew propaganda. But this is what I want people to think about. Am I the only one who has, like, I don't know, who's a little skeptical that any of this shit that's going on makes any sense other than to make money? Am I the only one that sees the correlation between the back and forth public display between Donald Trump, Mika Brzezinski, and Joe Scarborough that led us up to this moment? Would that make me a conspiracy theorist because I think maybe these things are related? I mean, you don't have to be a mathematician to add 1 + 1 and get 2. Do you really believe that Joe Scarborough had no intention to get all of the spotlight that he's been getting, beefing with Trump publicly, after being one of the strongest advocates for Trump throughout the campaign? Folks, do you remember? See, a lot of you you probably don't watch Morning Joe, and I don't blame you. But Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough were besties with Trump throughout his campaign. Maybe Trump paid them back a little bit by giving them some of that media attention that only Trump knows how to grab. Am I the only one who thinks this way, or am I just screwed up? It could be a little of both. Maybe I'm a little paranoid, or maybe I just have a bullshit detector that always works. Also, another fun fact, Mika Brzezinski just scored a big book deal. Yeah, great book deal. 6 figures plus. So, all of that, oh no, he said she had a facelift stuff, which isn't the worst thing for someone to say. Hell, we've been making fun of Little Kim's facelift for 10 years. I didn't see a crowd of feminists running out to defend Little Kim's facelift when people made jokes and records about it. Trump makes a tweet about it and the whole world loses its collective shit. Recognize when you are being played. And if you won't recognize it, at least be suspicious like me. Give it up for that, guys. Come on. Come on. You ain't going to hear that on Network News. They ain't going to tell you that. That's why you got to tune into this channel. If you're not already a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, become a member. It's an exclusive club. Join now. Go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Be a member. Oh, wow. I'm going to go to this now. And we got a lot of news, so please get comfortable, guys. Once again, now is not a good time. Maybe I'll give a couple moments in between. People got to run, restroom, or whatever. But I'm just going to keep firing it off. DeRay McKeeson, the leader. Well, let me start that over. How many of you know DeRay McKeeson? Black Lives Matter activist. You know, the one with the blue jacket, the blue vest. Known, I don't know. How can I put this? Known to be a person who was picked by the establishment to jump in front of the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, that's just my opinion. That's just based on what I've read. That's what I've researched over the last year or so. Well, DeRay McKeeson, he thinks maybe the world is revolving around him because he believed that maybe Hollywood, big Hollywood studio, decided to use him as a prop in a movie. But their depiction of him was not of, I don't know, some great actor playing him. He believes that the makers of Planet of the Apes, the latest edition, use his vest on an ape to simulate him. DeRay McKeeson, gosh, I guess I'll say it. And Tariq Nasheed, my old friend Tariq Nasheed. Mole coded messages in a war for Planet of the Apes. Black Lives Matter activist DeRay McKeeson and author Tariq Nasheed were mocked on social media on Tuesday after forwarding the idea that racially coded messages may be in the war of the Planet of the Apes. Promotional material for director Matt Reeves' upcoming film was pulled into an online race debate because a blue vest Mr. Nasheed associated with Mr. McKeeson. Tariq Nasheed sent out this tweet. It read, "Does the new Planet of the Apes supposed to have racially coded messages? Notice the Black Lives Matter symbolism. Notice the ape with the blue vest." Mr. Nasheed tweeted nearly 190,000 followers on Monday. "Given the history of rendering black people as apes, I'm offended and appalled by the lack of consciousness in Hollywood. Hashtag Planet of the Apes." That was McKeeson's tweet in response. But McKeeson did delete his tweet. That didn't stop people from reacting to the accusation that maybe Hollywood decided to use you and put you on an ape. Fans of the original movies and movie buffs were quick to shoot down the racial conspiracy theory in which DeRay unwittingly culturally appropriates the style of a chimp from Planet of the Apes, gets offended about it, and cries racism. Sargon of Akkad tweeted that. "You're outraged because they're recreating the look of the original ape in 1968. You don't own wearing blue vests, man. Grow up." Filmmaker Robbie Starbuck added with an image from the original film. Now, Whoopi Goldberg from The View fame, who I disagree with her a lot, she went on a tirade about DeRay McKeeson and tore him a new asshole. And she did this saying, basically, that DeRay has a over-bloated view of himself. If he believes that this was a racially motivated thing, and if he believes that this is even related to him. And I saw that clip of Whoopi Goldberg, who I disagree with so many times I can't count. Whoopi Goldberg gets it wrong a lot in my opinion, but I still respect her as a person. I respect her to have her own opinion. Here's my thing, guys. I happen to know that DeRay McKeeson is very full of himself. This I know for a fact. This I know from interacting with him on Twitter. He likes to punch down. That's what he does. Now, to this whole thing with the Twitter, with the apes and with the vest, folks, I do not know if they were inspired by DeRay McKeeson, if they decided to bring the blue vest back and it happens to look like DeRay, or if it was intentional, or if this was something they were shooting for to begin with. I have no way of knowing that. But this is what I do know. DeRay, you have no way of proving it. And to make that accusation, you and Tariq, it makes you look silly. Now, I know that your followers or your fans, maybe it doesn't make you look silly. Maybe they see the possibility. And yes, I will agree there is a possibility. But since you can't prove it, I wouldn't have jumped out the gym on it. I don't know. It is what it is. Give it up for that, guys. I'm trying to mix up my politics, not just go straight politics, and try to bounce it around, keep it interesting. You know? 'Cause, hey, look, you know, I don't know what the DeRay thing, I don't know. but I don't believe they would take that risk. But then again, people are crafty. To people to totally dismiss it there is a possibility, that's going a little too far. I do believe that D-Ray is full of himself, but I have no way of knowing if someone, I don't know, if someone who wrote or decided to use the vest or whatever thought maybe they tie it in. I mean, sort of like that Pepsi commercial, I think it was, where the woman stops the riot. Remember that tacky-ass commercial? Where she solves police brutality in a riot or whatever by giving the officer a Pepsi. Like, these people watch the world. They watch pop culture. They watch what's going on. They watch Twitter. They watch Facebook. They get ideas. And it's possible, but you can't prove it. You can't prove it. It's just the vest, man. Now, if the ape was named B-Ray, maybe you had something. All right, I'm going to go to the next one. I got like a billion of them. Okay, so we all know about what's going on with Donald Trump Jr. regarding the email situation, regarding meeting with a Russian lawyer that now they say she's a high-level operative of the Russia. Okay, so we're up to speed on that. Little background. I was reading an article that was sent to me by Autumn Monday, where Assange, Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, activist, journalist, he said this. He said, I urge Trump Jr. to release emails on Russian lawyer before the New York Times story. The New York Times is reporting on the meeting between Trump Jr. and Russian lawyer Natalia Veselnitskaya for a few days, and had contacted Trump Jr. for a statement on the content of the emails it had obtained. Trump Jr. released his email chain along with a statement Tuesday, which was seemingly a preemptive action to minimize the upcoming Times story. According to Assange, he made contact with Trump Jr. on Tuesday morning and advised him to release the emails to WikiLeaks. 2 hours later, does it himself, Assange says. I argued that his enemies have it, so why not the public? His enemies will just milk isolated phrases for weeks or months with their own context, spin it according to their own strategic timetable. Assange explained, better to be transparent and have the full context, but it would have been even safer for us to publish it anonymously sourced. By publishing it himself, it is easier to submit as evidence, Assange added. He surely had advice or is confident on the facts. I'd argue that even the completely innocent need WikiLeaks. CNN journalist Brian Stelter tweeted a New York Times source said it was preparing to publish the email story, and Trump Jr.'s people asked for more time and then preempted the New York Times by publishing the emails. So, Julian Assange reaches out to Donald J. Trump Jr. and then gives him some advice. Get out in front of the bad story. Get out in front of it now. You want to be in the driving seat of this story. If not, this is going to prolong the misery. This way, everything's out. The world knows. It won't be the whole world because the whole world won't read WikiLeaks. But a lot of people on the internet still value WikiLeaks, even though I know that's contrary to the opinion of some people in the Democratic Party. The same people who loved it when WikiLeaks revealed information under the Bush administration. It's funny how times change. Assange, I guess the message was made, it was received, and Donald Trump Jr. decided to go another way. Trump Jr., along with Paul Manafort, campaign boss, and his brother-in-law, Jared Kushner, met with Veselnitskaya on June 9th. And here are the words from Trump Jr. I was asked to have a meeting by an acquaintance I knew from the 2013 Miss Universe pageant with an individual who I was told might have information helpful to the campaign. I was not told her name prior to the meeting. I asked Jared and Paul to attend, but told them nothing of substance, Trump Jr. said Monday. The woman claimed that she had information that individuals connected to Russia were funding the Democratic National Committee and supporting Ms. Clinton. Wow. So what to make of this? We're going to get further into the Donald Trump story because it's really big news. We're going to get into Trump impeachment and all that. But this here, Donald Trump Jr., WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, and the importance of WikiLeaks can't be stressed enough. I think more of us, or more notable figures, need to use this as a resource. I believe that WikiLeaks dispensing information in the format that it does, with the reputation that it has, leaves you more protected than unprotected. And Donald Trump Jr., yeah, maybe being a little bit more forthcoming and originally would have helped your case a lot. But anyway, it is what it is now. Subscribe to this channel. Follow me for more updates on this. And believe me, there will be a lot of updates on the Donald Trump Jr. story. All right. Since we're there, we're going to stay there for a minute. I know you're probably wondering, like, Tim, are you going to get to Donald Trump impeachment? Damn right I'm going to get to the impeachment part. All right. That's an important part. That's important news. As you've all heard, I'm sure, all day long, they've launched, or one single individual Democrat has filed for impeachment of Donald Trump. That's right. It's happening. It's finally going down. They finally got that smoking gun to bring down Donald Trump. They're going to blow his world up. They're going to end his presidency. It's finally going to happen. And then we're going to have Mike Pence. Isn't that the one that said, didn't he try to like send LGBTs to like reprogramming centers? Didn't he do that? Like, isn't that his thing? And the bathrooms, don't use the bathroom if you isn't that him? He's not better than Trump. Okay, that's beside the point. We don't care what it does. We just need to do it. The Democrat launches unlikely bid to impeach Trump. A California Democrat has filed an article of impeachment against U.S. President Donald Trump and a long shot to remove him from office. Brad Sherman filed the article on Wednesday, accusing Trump of obstructing investigations into Russian meddling into the 2016 presidential election. Now, how did he meddle? Well, he meddled by firing former Deputy Director James Comey, of course. Sherman acknowledges that filing the article is the first step on a very long road. Sherman should also argue that filing this was a big publicity stunt, because the shit won't happen. At least not on this. But that will require Brad to be honest, and Brad ain't honest. Recent disclosures by Donald Trump Jr. indicate that Trump's campaign was eager to receive assistance from Russia. All right. Even if you prove he met with a Russian, you didn't prove what was given or if he gave. And as I've said in other videos, folks, unless you can prove that Trump colluded with, like, either Trump helped someone hack into the DNC, which you can't prove, because that's not what I believe happened anyway. I believe it was an internal leak. That's how 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, that's how things come up missing. People internally. Ain't a lot of people breaking into computers and like they lead you to believe. Most things are inside jobs. Ask a disgruntled employee. But even if they do find some way to prove that some information, or I don't know, maybe the Russian gave them something that they were able to use on Hillary to sway the election, even if you're able to prove that, you won't be able to impeach Trump with it, because Trump didn't do it. And firing someone, that's not going to be enough. And I think the Democrats know that. And heck, yes, they know, the Democratic Party knows that that's not enough. And most of the Democrats who have been on the record speaking about the impeachment of Donald Trump for months, who have been milking the cow of impeachment, riling up the masses, keeping the ratings up for the corporate media, they've all backed away from the impeachment because they know it's not going to happen. Even sham artists who have made lots of money on YouTube, preaching to their audiences even. Yeah, folks, on Periscope, Twitter, there are people making money on YouTube with this lie that Trump's going to get impeached, who don't even believe it's going to happen themselves, well, they know it's not going to happen, like I said. It now seems likely that the president had something to hide when he tried to curtail the investigation of now fired National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and the wider Russian probe. I don't know. This is Brad Sherman saying this. I believe his conversations with and subsequent firing of FBI Director James Comey constitute obstruction of justice. Maybe it's possible that Brad Sherman was put up to this. Maybe he's not acting unilaterally. Maybe we need somebody to do it. It'll look silly, but it'll look like we're trying to get rid of him. And then we can keep the narrative going a little bit longer. And I know it sounds like paranoid. It sounds like, Tim, where are you getting this from? But believe me, folks, you have to think like a capitalist when you're dealing with capital. You have to think about the money coming in. Because at the end of the day, most of what we deal with is about money. It's not about humanity. It's not about justice. It's about dollars. And once you take your eye off that, once you stop believing that, once you start thinking it's about core values, national whatever, pride, patriotism, of any of that, you are missing the mark. Sherman has one co-sponsor, fellow Democrat Al Green of Texas. Al Green. Democratic leaders have distanced themselves from the effort, believing it energizes Trump base. Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it does energize his base. Yes. Everything you've been doing since he got elected has been energizing his base. Instead of talking about all the great things the Democrats can do, you've been talking about how horrible Trump is. You know who that really pisses off? People who like Trump. And when you attack him by attacking his son, without no real evidence that this is like improper, like that he did Russia hack? If they hacked, prove it. If you can't prove it, move the hell on. We got other shit to do. This is why I get so pissed off with the Democratic Party, with the Russia thing. Not only did you betray me with 8 years of Obama, no one holding him accountable for his failed policies. No one. Everybody's so busy wanting to do photo ops with him. Everybody's so busy wanting to be his buddy. Everybody's so interested in that. Nobody was interested in holding him accountable. So meanwhile, you got black people catching hell. You got poor white people catching hell. Poor Latinos catching hell. That's why Hillary lost. Had nothing to do with Russia. And it's very fucking offensive that this is going on this long. If you got something, bring it. I'm all for it. If you got evidence, bring it. If you brought me evidence that Trump and Russia and Putin were all together on this thing and they did something, I don't know what it could be, I consider it. But no one's been able to do that. And you're damn right you're riling up the base, and all you're doing is ensuring a loss for 2020. And if you get a loss in 2020, you deserve it. I don't know. Sherman filed the article a day after the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., acknowledged that he met with a Russian lawyer during the campaign. These are circumstantial. They're just not enough. It won't happen, folks. So for all the Democrats who may be watching this, who are, I don't know, maybe just interested in what Tim Black's talking about, listen to me. Donald Trump will not be impeached. He just won't. It's a fundraising mechanism for the Democratic Party. Like so many other things they do. There's a lot of money in losing. And by continuing this, they are all but ensuring a loss in 2020, which will be more lucrative to them than a win. Mark my words. Stamp it. July 13th. All right. Much to do about nothing. Nothing. I love nothing burgers. Nothing burgers with nothing on it, with no sauce, no nothing. Just the nothing burger. It's good. It's nothing burger, baby. Order me two more of them nothing burgers. I don't feel like I ate nothing because I didn't. It's nothing. Trump, Putin, Trump, Putin, Trump, Putin. So what happened with Donald Trump when he went to the G20 summit? He met with Vladimir Putin, president of Russia. They had conversation. We know he did question Putin. Hey, Putin, you had anything to do with that hack? I really want to know, man. You need to tell me now. Did you hack? Did you infiltrate the United States and cause me to win? And damn it, tell me now. And Putin said no. And he said, okay, well, let's get on to other stuff. Well, besides that happening, Trump on Putin, we got along very well. That's a good thing. U.S. President Trump has revealed in an interview with CBN News, which I have no idea what that is, that he and Russian President Vladimir Putin got along very well, and that's a good thing. However, he thinks Putin would have been happier if Hillary Clinton had won the election. Okay. You lie, Trump. You lie. No one would have been happier with Hillary winning, or she would have won. It's kind of how you know, how you can determine that. I don't know. While the goals of President Putin are quite different from his, Donald Trump told CBN News on Wednesday, since the both statesmen seek prosperity for their countries, they can find some common ground. Well, he wants what's good for Russia. And I want what's good for the United States. And I think in a case like Syria, where we can get together, do a ceasefire, and there are many, many, many other cases where getting along can be a very positive thing, but always pooty time. It's going to want Russia and Trump. Let me stop. It's going to want Russia and Trump. It's going to want the United States, and that's the way it is. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's a positive thing, but always Putin is going to want Russia and Trump, and I don't even know. This is horrible. I can't read it. It's horrible. The announcement of the ceasefire deal brokered by Russia and the United States and Jordan was made following the meeting between the two leaders on the sidelines of the G20 summit last week. It took effect on Sunday in southwest Syrian provinces of Daraa, Quneitra, Suwadi. It applies to both government forces and militant groups there and will be enforced by the military forces of the three countries. The truce is designed to end hostilities and allow aid deliveries to the war-torn regions. Now, I heard a lot of people talking about the truce. How long will the truce hold? It's all BS. It doesn't matter. No. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. A truce in a land that is ravaged like Syria, even if it's just a section of the land, even if it doesn't last forever, that's a positive. You don't get to say a truce in a time of war is not positive just because you don't like the president. I don't like the president either. Just so happened I didn't like his challenger either. Okay? His main challenger, Hillary Clinton. I don't like either one of them. But I won't vote for corrupt politicians. You do not get to say that a ceasefire is bullshit. And if you say that, you are on some bullshit. These are real people's lives. Real people. All right. Sometimes you're not going to get along on things, and sometimes you will, but we had a good meeting. It was a face-to-face meeting. It was a long meeting. People said, oh, they shouldn't get along. Well, who are the people that are saying that? I think we get along very, very, very well. We are tremendously powerful. We are a tremendously powerful nuclear power, and so are they. It doesn't make sense to not have some kind of a relationship. You're right, Trump. It doesn't make sense. It's also pretty stupid. Keep in mind, Obama had the same attitude, and you said nothing. Zero. I heard nothing. Obama had the same attitude about working with Russia. And when it was brought up on the campaign trail by Mitt Romney back in 2012, people laughed at Romney for saying that we shouldn't deal with Russia. They laughed at him. And Democrats did this. You clapped till your hands almost broke. But now since it's Trump doing it, it's a problem. Listen. you're full of shit. Bring the evidence. Until then, let's deal with Flint. Let's deal with Chicago. Let's deal with Kentucky. Let's deal with Minneapolis. Let's deal with Mississippi. Let's deal with D.C. Let's deal with Maryland. Let's deal with West Virginia. Let's deal with our infrastructure. Let's deal with our health care. Let's deal with the other issues that we need done in this country. Those things that matter. That's what we should be doing. But instead of seeing you being proactive on those issues, you are continuing to run this in the ground. And once again, guys, what do we say? The reason is money. Money. Show me the money. All right. So Trump said it went well. That's great. Maybe we won't have a nuclear war tomorrow. Take that and shove it up your ass, Keith Olbermann. All right. I did a video earlier this week on net neutrality. As you know, yesterday was Net Neutrality Day, where we fight to keep the internet safe, secure, free, and unfettered by corporate leeches who just want to make that dollar, who want to make that money. Oh, that money. Oh, that money. Well, one of the chief cohorts behind, and I don't believe what they say. I believe that the ISPs, internet service providers, want net neutrality to be reversed, to be able to charge you to go to specific sites, and also have the ability to throttle the internet, even more than they already do. You think everything's fair? No, it's not fair. Not now. It'll never be fair. In a capitalist society, money always talks. Verizon, one of the chief ISPs, a data breach of 14 million customers reportedly exposed. Millions of Verizon customers' records have been exposed after an Israeli technology company left user data unprotected. As many as 14 million records of Verizon customers were found unsecured on an Amazon storage server controlled by Israeli-based NICE Systems. This is according to ZDNet.com. The databases were found to have communication logs of Verizon customers who called customer service, as well as customers' cell phone numbers and account PINs. That's according to the IB Times. Verizon, in a statement to CNBC, apologized to their customers, but said reports that customers' PIN numbers were available were not actually connected to customers' accounts and were numbers used to confirm customers at call centers. Verizon was reportedly told of the data breach in June, but IB Times reported it took more than a week before Verizon and NICE Systems secured the server. NICE Systems had access to the information in order to listen to recorded customer calls to improve customer experience. The security breach comes a year after Verizon said the contact information of 1.5 million business customers was for sale by hackers. Boy, it's a lot of hacking going on. Was it hacked or was it leaked? Did a customer have access to it? I don't know. No, did an employee have access to it and bring it out? Somehow find a way to copy it and transport it outside of the building? I don't know. All these things are possible. I wish more people were concerned about net neutrality. I wish it would be an issue that we could all fight for. It's a bipartisan issue. I don't care if you're conservative, progressive, liberal, doesn't matter. Do you use the internet? Do you like using the internet? How about we work together to keep on using the internet? Because what they're trying to do is shut down our ability to move freely about the internet. Screw you, Verizon. Screw you. Give it up for that. Whew. It's hot in here. It's hot in here. Bernie Sanders on 2020. A lot of people have been asking if Bernie Sanders was going to run in 2020. Some people say Bernie Sanders will be too old. Hell, I'll take an old Bernie over an old Trump any day. Donald Trump Jr. emailed what America needs in an FBI director. So Bernie Sanders makes a lot of comments here about running, about Trump Jr., and about James Comey. Bernie Sanders supporters are still feeling the sting of their candidate's loss in the race for the Democratic nomination for president and Hillary Clinton's subsequent loss of the election to Donald Trump. Correction, Newsweek. We're not upset that he lost. We're upset he was robbed. When I went to the ATM, I didn't lose my wallet. A guy with a gun came up behind me and took it. That ain't the same thing. I direct you to WikiLeaks, motherfucker. I hate when they get that wrong. Give me the truth. Admit it. It was rigged. We all know it. Well, some of us do. Not the Twitter trolls, not the Hillbots. They don't know. Oh, I don't know anything. I'm a Hillbot. I don't know anything. I just say whatever Joy Reid and Rachel Maddow says. Keith Olbermann tell me to say. I don't think for myself. Oh no, information not given to me by MSNBC or CNN. Oh no, get that away from me. Get my back, baby. I got to get away from this information. It might actually educate me. Oh no, contrary opinions. Oh shit. All right. Sanders fans, political observers, and the media have been asking him for months whether he'll be considering running in 2020. The Vermont senator's usual answer is that he's way too early to talk about the next election. He reiterated as much in an interview that will air Thursday morning on SiriusXM's Make It Plain with Mark Thompson. But when Thompson asked Sanders whether he's leaving 2020 on the table or taking it off, the senator answered more directly than he normally does. That he isn't not considering it. I'm not saying I'm considering it, but I'm not considering it. Bernie, if your ass don't go ahead and run with the Draft Bernie campaign for the People's Movement and get this over with, get out that party. They don't want you. Run, man. Save yourself and save the country. How about that? Stop playing games, man. Stop playing games. No, I'm not taking it off the table. I just have not made any decisions, Sanders said. And I think it's much too early. Then he went back to that. People right now, our job right now is to not only fight against the disastrous health care proposal, it is to take on all of Trump's reactionary proposals. He is a representative of the billionaire class. He's at war against the working class. We've got to raise the minimum wage right now. We're working on that to $15 an hour. We have got to make public colleges and universities tuition free. We've got to be aggressive on criminal justice reform. Oh, all the things I care about. One thing, though, just because you raise the minimum wage does not mean people come out of poverty. We need to make sure that people have enough to feed their families. If you work, you should be able to feed your family. If some places, $15 an hour just don't cut it. So on that basis, I agree with Stephen Jaffe, who should unseat Nancy Pelosi. There's a whole lot of fights that we have to fight, he added. It's just too early to be talking about an election 3.5 years from now. So the interview with Thompson is scheduled to air on 8 a.m. in a couple hours, actually. Also, Sanders addresses two issues. The other issues, Donald J. Trump and the FBI director. From my point of view, it's a very damaging piece of evidence, he said of Trump Jr.'s email. But what's important is there be a methodical, objective, bipartisan process that looks at this whole business of the possibility of Trump's campaign colluding with the Russians. To me, this is pretty clearly a damaging revelation, but the process has got to continue, and it will. Sanders also stressed the need for an independent FBI director. We have a president who's doing things that have been unprecedented. There's a reason to believe that he may have fired the last FBI director because that director was in the middle of an investigation. Looking at the possible collusion of the Trump campaign with Russia, he said, the most important thing is that any new FBI director within the Trump administration has got to be absolutely independent and has got to make it clear that he will stand up for law and for justice and that be at the whim of the president. Okay, so you lost me on the last part there, but I'll live with you thinking that. James Comey was bad for business, period. Democrats felt that way, I don't know, 6 months ago when he reopened the case with Hillary Clinton's emails. Remember, you said that cost you the election. If Trump would have fired him then, well, he couldn't have. He couldn't have. What am I talking about? Obama could have, but he didn't. I don't know. But anyway, one important point about Bernie Sanders is different than your standard, I don't know, person on the left. He said we need to focus on these issues, and he gave you minimum wage. He gave you health care. He gave you ending mass incarceration, prison justice reform. He talked about these issues. I just had Clifford Spud Johnson on my show last night talking about prison justice reform, the three-strike law, mandatory minimum mandatories. At least he knows the issues. When was the last time you saw Blowhard go on MSNBC or CNN, any politician, any of them, and talk about anything of substance that mattered to your life? Not Putin, not Trump Putin, but things that matter to your life. And that's why Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician, Republican, Libertarian, Green, whatever, in the country. Wow. All right. I'm going to keep going. We're not stopping. Thank you for tuning into this show. Thank you for being here for this live taping event of all the news for 7/13/2017. I appreciate you. Shout out to everybody out there in Periscope, everybody out there on Facebook. I appreciate you and my friends out there in YouTube. Tim Black's Wolfpack all the way around. Thank you so much. Let's get into some more. I got some more news. The White House goes on offense. Slams the DNC for collusion. Clinton collusion. Let me get into this. Let me see what this is. The White House went on offense Wednesday amid the firestorm over Donald Trump's Jr.'s campaign season meeting with a Russian lawyer. They're trying to turn the tables by alleging the Democratic National Committee and the Clintons are the ones caught up in collusion. The White House has been grappling all week with revelations of a meeting the president's eldest son held last year with Russian attorney Natalia Velasquez, who was said to have dirt on Hillary Clinton as part of a Russian government effort to help the Trump campaign. But Deputy White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders used Wednesday's off-camera briefing to highlight DNC and Clinton ties to foreign governments, including Russia and the Ukraine. If we're looking at Russia relationships with anybody, it would be directly with the Clintons. She cited examples of a speech former President Bill Clinton gave in Russia, for which he reportedly earned over $500,000, and reports of the then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton selling what Sanders described as a third of the world's uranium to Russia. Well, but that's nothing. There's nothing there, right? That means nothing. Means nothing. So let me get this right, because we've been talking about this forever. A lot of us have been talking about this for a long time. Mainstream media just won't cover it. Corporate media won't cover it. We've been talking about the uranium core, the core uranium that was sold to Russia from Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State, how that coincided with money that was given to Bill Clinton. And when we brought it up, people said we were crazy. You're just kooky. This was before the Russia stuff. This is before Russia and Trump. We knew about it then. Why? WikiLeaks. Guccifer. I think it was Guccifer. But yeah, they're going to dismiss this. Hell, they're dismissing it here. Oh, it's just a way to distract. It was a relevant issue that should have been brought up 9 months ago when the news first broke. And it's pertinent. If you actually care, if you think Russia was meddling. But people don't really care. They just want to get rid of Trump. That's really what it's about. They don't need evidence. Freaking evidence. Who needs evidence? Who needs evidence? Just make the allegation, and that's enough to raise money. We are the most powerful country in the world, and we are getting more and more powerful because I'm a big military person, as an example. If Hillary had won, our military would be decimated. Our energy would be much more expensive. That's what Putin doesn't like about me, and that's why I say why he wouldn't want me. Let's try that again. I don't know if I get this. Trying to put more distance between himself and Russia, even on the heels of a meeting with Vladimir Putin, President Trump also said in an interview with the Christian Broadcasting Network, set to air Thursday, that he believes there are many reasons Putin would prefer Hillary Clinton in office over him. Now, these are his reasons. He says, we are the most powerful country in the world, and we are getting more and more powerful because I'm a big military person. As an example, if Clinton won, our military would be decimated. Our energy would be much more expensive. That's what Putin doesn't like about me. That's why I say he wouldn't want me. So Trump is trying to change the narrative from Putin wanted Trump in office and he was willing to help Trump get elected, and throwing what can be seen as a Jedi mind trick on the media with this. I don't know. I think it's questionable, guys, if Hillary would have lowered military spending. Not much. She's a war hawk. She's more of a war hawk than you, Trump. She would have increased military spending. Definitely. Now, the relationship between Clinton and Putin, she would put us more in the line of fire by creating a no-fly zone over Syria that would put us in direct confrontation with Russia. Or at least possibly. Okay? So I don't think that's going to really pass muster. People are not going to really believe that if they know the facts. But one thing that the Republicans and the Democrats have in common is if they rely on Americans not knowing shit. They rely on Americans being uneducated, uninformed, easily swayed by figureheads that are put out in front of them to distract them from the realities and lack of research. And also lack of independent media that would give them said information. Like, where do you get information like this? Where do you get people to tell you what really is behind it? Where do you get the context, as Jamal Thomas would say? The context. Unless you get it from independent media, which they demonize daily. All right. On Wednesday morning, Trump took to Twitter to rip Clinton over what he described as a double standard for their respective associates and alleged cooperation with foreign governments in the 2016 campaign. Trump drew first attention to a Washington Times article claiming Democrats had used false information from Russia to attack him in his campaign. You remember the whole urine in a hotel thing? Yeah. I think that's what he's talking about. It was called the Golden Shower. And I know it's disgusting. You probably don't want to hear about it. But it was an actual story that BuzzFeed ran with without any corroboration, any evidence whatsoever. Okay. Series of tweets from Trump. At Washington Times, Donald Trump states, Trumps have willfully used Moscow disinformation to influence the presidential election against Donald Trump. He added, why aren't the same standards placed on Democrats? Look what Hillary Clinton may have gotten away with. Disgraceful. The news report refers to the questionable dossier written by former British intelligence agent Christopher Steele and allegedly distributed by Fusion GPS, which contained unverified allegations against Trump, the Trump team. Fusion GPS, a Democrat-funded opposition research firm, allegedly paid Steele with money from a Clinton backer. The dossier eventually fell into the hands of the FBI. Bernie Sanders is also included in this equation. Even as the White House chose to shift the focus to Democrats, the Trump team is facing mounting bipartisan scrutiny over both Trump Jr.'s meeting and the administration's handling of the latest revelations. From what I understand, there were some false reports put out by the White House that was co-signed by the White House in regards to Donald Trump Jr., and eventually Donald Trump Jr. puts out his emails. Our goal is to be transparent and put every bit of information at the forefront. When I say Bernie Sanders, I meant Sarah Huckabee Sanders, right? Yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't mean Bernie Sanders. Look. The DNC collusion is factual, is actual. It just has now been reported by corporate media. We know that, right? So for people who are just now tuning in who don't know the background of this, please go consult WikiLeaks. Go read into this information. Start looking. Read from, go to counterproper.com. That'd be a great place to start. H.A. Goodman, my partner, we do a show together, 9 o'clock on Mondays called No Sellouts, where we discuss various topics that won't be discussed in corporate media. Also, of course, go to WikiLeaks. Also, try to intercept and get up to speed on the reality of DNC and Clinton collusion. They're not supposed to be the same thing. One's a private organization and the other is an individual. Person. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to that. This is harder than I thought. Let me give you something. Let's get away from politics. Let's go to something else. This I don't know where this came from, but I got to tell you, this is something. Neil Patrick Harrison and James Woods went at it on Twitter in a way that I'm still trying to make my mind up about it. I glanced at it. I'm going to share it with you for the first time, me really, truly getting it. Now, here's the deal. Neil Patrick Harris slams James Woods for classless attack on gender creative kid. All right. Doogie Howser, guys. Doogie Howser in the house. You know Neil Patrick Harris, right? And you know James Woods, Any Given Sunday, many other movies. Okay. Neil Patrick Harris had strong words for fellow actor James Woods, who criticized the couple for allowing their son to wear dresses and makeup. On Monday, Woods tweeted a photograph of Matt and Lori Duran with their 10-year-old son CJ attending Orange County Pride in Santa Ana, California. Lori Duran is the author of 2013's Raising My Rainbow, Adventures in Raising a Fabulous Gender Creative Son, a memoir based on her blog of the same name, in which she documents her experiences raising CJ, who identifies as gender nonconforming. The 70-year-old Woods, they had to put his age in. There's an old cranky old white guy. They put his age in there for a reason. You know, when you do this for a while, you realize they put the black, they put the age, they put the sex, they put it's for a reason. It wants to paint a picture in your head about these people. As if there's no young person going, what's creative gender? I don't get it. Like, there are young people who don't get that. Not everyone went to Berkeley. The 70-year-old Woods, who has never shied away from expressing his conservative views, blasted the Durans in his tweet. This is sweet. So there's a picture, which I'm going to put up on the screen when I put the video out, when Momo Pineno puts the video out. And it's on the screen now. It will be on the screen, and you'll watch that. And it's of mom, dad, son at the Pride Parade or whatever this is. And James Woods retweets it. He says, "This is sweet. Wait until this poor kid grows up, realizes what you've done, and stuffs both of you dismembered into a freezer in the garage." Hey, look, man, James Woods may be tacky, classless, an asshole, right? But he sure is brazen. This guy has balls. His balls so big, his balls get in the room 10 minutes before he does. You understand what I'm telling you? This guy, it's one thing to be a bigot. It's one thing to be a super ultra conservative, this guy, but he owns it. He's like, I'm this thing. I like this. Let me clarify. I like his outwardness. I like his outwardness. I hate people who pretend. Pretend you're your friend, then the knife comes out. Oh, knife. They pretend to want to hang with the blacks. Then it's, oh, I think you're a thief. I think you're a liar. I think, what is this? What is this? I hate when people pretend to be something that they're not. On all the people that do that. And there's a lot of people that do that. But what I like about James Woods, and I don't like his activity. I don't like this tweet. I don't like him saying this. This is a horrible thing to say. I never say shit like this. I don't talk this way. I don't treat people this way. Can't say something nice. And if it's not really relevant and like, what's the point of this? This guy, why would James Woods, who got 30,000 retweets, God, or 30,000 likes, 11,000, almost 12,000 retweets. James is strong. Look, I'm an advocate for free speech. I wish this wasn't a child in this situation. If he would have said this about Caitlyn Jenner, I don't know how you can make that happen. I'd feel a little bit better about it. At least you're talking about it in the dough. James Woods. Come here, man. Come here. Sir, you are a tacky motherfucker, all right? And rude. But I love that about you, and at least you own your bigotry. Because I love knowing people who feel the way they feel. Like, James, you seem like the type of guy who would say, Tim Black, I don't like your black face. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Go fuck yourself. You know, I like guys like that. What I don't like is, hey, Tim, how are you? Hey, buddy. Hey, ho. All right. Everything's fine. Oh, man, I don't even see color. Color don't exist to me. Oh, man, I don't even know what, man, what colors am I wearing? I don't even know because I don't see color. I think I'm wearing all gray. I wear all gray every day. I wrecked my car 10 times last week because I don't even know what color the damn lights are. Man, I don't see color, brother. I hate those people. Hate's a strong word. I detest them. I want to get away from them. They're disingenuous. They lure you into a false sense of security. And then they pull the rug out from under you. Reality comes and kicks you in the ding-ding. That's what happens. So, James Woods, you're disgusting, man. This is a horrible thing to say, man. That's just my opinion. I'm sure you don't give a shit about it. But at least you own your shit. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing that. You're still a horrible guy for this. And what his tweet did was inspire others to go in on the Durans. Now, I don't know about inspire them, but he brought attention to it, and they just follow suit because he's popular. Because people that follow him probably think along the same lines as he does. It is what it is. We have people who are unaccepting of other people, and we got people who will voice their opinions. It's not the worst thing in the world, but when it comes to a child, you can't do that, James Woods. James, you're a jackass for that, period. That's all. Remember Walter Scott? Man shot in the back by an officer as he ran away. Unarmed man running away. Hey, who cares if he's got a gun? If he's running away, right? You remember that story. Well, right on time, here comes another one for you. Shot in the back. NAACP decries shooting after Durham man's autopsy released. The Durham branch of the NAACP condemned the shooting of a Durham man by a state trooper after an autopsy report showed Willis Scott Jr., 31, was shot twice from behind. Today, the autopsy was released, confirming our worst fears. The autopsy shows that Willard, whom his mother called Junior, was shot in the back twice. The NAACP acknowledges the autopsy provided some insight into the shooting's happenings. but the document added the answers lead to even more questions. Scott was shot in his left lower back and right buttock February 12th after trooper Jeremy Mathis signaled Scott to pull to the curb due for a traffic violation, and that's when a foot chase ensued. During the foot pursuit, an armed confrontation ensued. A state highway patrol release stated a gun was found at the scene of the highway patrol said did not belong to the agency. Scott died on the operating table at Duke Regional Hospital from chest trauma and massive blood loss. The report from the NC Office of the Chief Medical Examiner said the bullet that killed Scott entered the left side of his lower back and traveled back to front, left to right, and upward. It perforated Scott's liver, struck the gallbladder, pierced his diaphragm before lodging in the fleshy tissues beneath the skin of his right chest. The bullet that struck Scott's buttock fragmented when it hit his pelvic bone. A small cut was found on Scott's nose, and 2 superficial cuts were examined on his left hand's fingers. Scott's right hand was cut, and one right-handed finger, 2 had an abrasion. Additionally, a cut was found on Scott's elbow, and both knees appeared scraped. The right knee had slight bruising. On Saturday, Scott's mother, Thomasine Henson, along with Durham NAACP members, had demanded the medical examiner release the autopsy report. Whether it's because of the police or young black men killing young black men, how many Einsteins have we lost? Durham NAACP President Roland Station said Saturday. You can't measure somebody because of their economic status. What if Abraham Lincoln had been killed in a drive-by? That'd be crazy because there were no cars. On Monday, the Durham NAACP reaffirmed its support for the family's demands. District Attorney Roger Echols and the State Bureau of Investigation must conduct a full investigation and release any video, audio, or other documentation to the family. Echols must prosecute Mathis to the fullest extent of the law as warranted by the investigation. The Highway Patrol must implement de-escalation training to ensure the traffic stops do not become death sentences. So let me get this right. Let's clear this all up. That's all they have in the report. That's where we're at. Here's my commentary on this, okay? They found a gun after they killed the man. All right? That's it. He didn't stop, pull the gun on the cop, and it was a shootout. No. This man had a gun on him. Now, I don't know the laws about guns in North Carolina. Didn't research that. But in any case, the gun was found later. He was not pulled over because he committed a crime. It's for a traffic violation. It's not a crime. It's a fine, okay? Why he ran, I don't know why he ran. Here's the thing. Anyone with their back to you is not a threat to you. Period. These cases should be really open shut. But for some reason, when the jury goes into the booth, the law is written in such a way that they cannot come to a decision. So there is a problem with the jury, but there's also a problem with the laws. And if you want people to stop, if you want police officers to be held accountable for these types of situations where a life is taken on a routine traffic stop, when there has been no aggressive action done by the victim or the deceased, then you must get involved politically. Because the only way we're going to change that is by law. That's it. You're not going to change it firing cops, though I want this cop fired, if what I read is true. If what I read is true. I want him more than fired. I want him incarcerated for it. But that will not change fundamentally, comprehensively, across this country, in all the states, all the cities, all the towns, unless we change laws. This is about laws, not one-offs. I encourage you to look into civilian-led policing with my friend Michael A. Wood. Find Michael A. Wood on Twitter. He's been on my show three times. And it's a new model in policing that we should all consider supporting. Need to have Michael A. Wood back on the show soon so we can get an update to what's the progression with this movement. We need fundamental change in how we police, how they're trained, how they're hired, how they're oversaw or governed or managed, the whole nine. It's not just about one cop. But I'll take this one cop because this one cop, according to what I read, if it's true, murdered a man for no other reason than he can't run fast. Give it up for that. On my show, I do a segment called Blacklist. Welcome to Tim Black's Blacklist. Today, Kid Rock. How many of you love Kid Rock? One? Okay. Could you get this guy out of here now? The hell out of here. Not a Kid Rock fan. I don't know if you can tell that or not. All right. Kid Rock is running for Michigan Senate. Give a fool a symbol. He want to be a band leader. Musician Kid Rock has announced his bid for the U.S. Senate in Michigan. In a tweet Wednesday, Rock, whose birth name is Robert James Ritchie, wrote that the website kidrockforsenate.com was real and to stay tuned for a major announcement. All right. Republicans in Michigan have reportedly been considering Rock to run in the GOP ticket in 2018 to challenge incumbent Democrat Debbie Stabenow for her seat. Michigan GOP press officer Sarah Anderson told Fox in February that she was unaware Rock would run for office in the state, but that she thinks it would be awesome if he did. It would be awesome. It'd be awesome to have a musician who probably knows nothing about politics trying to do politics. It'd be great. It'd be so great. Kill me. Rock, an outspoken conservative, endorsed Mitt Romney for president in 2012. He told The Guardian in 2015 that he was a Republican on certain issues but leans toward the middle on others. I'm definitely a Republican on fiscal issues and the military. Yeah, that's because he want to keep his money. He don't be helping fund the country on those stuff for them, stuff we need, like roads and health care. But I lean to the middle on social issues. I'm not a fan of abortion. Good, don't get one. But it's not up to a man to tell a woman what to do. As an ordained minister, I don't look forward to marrying gay people. Oh, this guy is perfect. This is just what Michigan needs. Michigan, you've been saved. All your problems will go away. Go right up there and handle that Flint shit. The singer visited President Trump at the White House in April with former Alaska Governor Sarah Palin and fellow musician Ted Nugent. If Kid Rock is serious about running and wins the Senate seat, he would be the first GOP candidate to win the seat since 1998. Incumbent Stabenow has held her seat since 2000. Oh, gosh. Oh, Jesus. Shout out to Bill Burr. Kid Rock, look, man.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
I ain't falling for no banana in the tailpipe, sir. We understood. And this is what I was saying about how Trump works with certain people to give them limelight and exposure, and then exposure is used to do other things. In this situation, you have Kid Rock, a man who got exposure politically through Donald Trump, his trip to the White House with Sarah Palin and Ted Nugent. And now look at him. He's running for Senate in Michigan. Similar to Joe Scarborough, who was Trump's lapdog for many months. Then they did a fake feud on Twitter. And now, well, Scarborough's an independent who's going to be launching a rock star career. This is all propaganda, bullshit, distractions. I don't know anything about Stabenow. Nothing at all. I'm not saying she's better or great or any of that. What I'm saying is Kid Rock ain't. And if Kid Rock is the best you got, similarly to, like, what's his name? Jerry Springer in Ohio. Well, let's just say we could do better. And I hope somebody in Michigan does do better. For all those reasons I just listed, Kid Rock, you make the blacklist. Like, by the way, you guys know the black means bad, not good in this situation. Sometimes black means good. Black list, like things Tim Black likes, like Oprah's list, but it's a bad list. Type of list to get you in trouble. I like trouble. I ain't scared of trouble. This is a good one. All right. All right. All right. How can I frame this? Welcome to Tim Black's right. Welcome to Tim Black's Blacklist. Today, racist Orlando cops. I know it's typical, right? Stay tuned. Should I try that again? Okay. Remember, this is gonna go up. All right. Welcome to Welcome to Tim Black's Blacklist. Today, racist Orlando police. Yeah. We'll keep that. Florida cops struggle to explain to a black state attorney why she was pulled over. I saw this video of this woman, black woman in a car being like dealing with police. And it was very uncomfortable for them when they realized that they pulled over the wrong person. When I say the wrong person, somebody could have their asses in a sling. Here's the details. On Wednesday, the Orlando Police Department, the OPD, released the body cam footage from an officer who pulled over State Attorney Aramis Ayala on June 19th. When the officer approached her window, she handed him her license. After scanning it, the cop asked her what agency she worked for. Ayala, who serves as state attorney in the Ninth Circuit, told him who she was, at which point the officer quickly gave her back her license and offered to wash and detail her car with his tongue. No, he launched into an explanation of why he pulled her over. And he said this. He said, "We ran the tag. I've never seen it before, but a Florida tag. It didn't come back to anything. So that's the reason for the stop." And Miss Aramis, or Miss Ayala, asked, what was the tag run for? She didn't say it like me. She was, why'd you run the tag? Yeah, that's better. I was too much, Oh, we run tags through all the time for no reason. Whether it's a traffic light or for no reason, and that sort of stuff or no reason, and how we figure out if cars are stolen and that sort of thing. The officer said, adding that her windows were really dark. I don't have that tint. I don't have a tint measure, but that's another reason for the stop. Ayala then asked for the officer's name, saying, "Do you have cards on you?" The officer informed Ayala that he was not driving his own car and offered to write down his name for her. "There you are. Have a good day," the officer said after ripping a page out of the notebook and handing it to her. The footage ends with Ayala driving away. Sergeant Eduardo Bernal, a spokesperson for the Orlando Police Department, told the Tampa Bay Times that it is their policy to run tags for official business only. He added that it is done routinely on patrol. In regards to the video, which was released by the Orlando Police Department last month, the officer stated that the tag did not come back as registered to any vehicle. Bernal told the Tampa Bay Times, "As you can see in the video, the window tint was dark and officers would not have been able to tell who or how many people were in the vehicle." Bernal also said that there was no complaint filed over the traffic stop. Ayala issued a statement through her office stating that she violated no laws and claimed that her window tint was in no way a violation of Florida law. And her tags are properly registered. However, she added that the traffic stop appears to be consistent with Florida law. All right. Ayala has recently been the target of racially charged threats after she announced in March that she will not pursue the death penalty for violent felony cases. Since then, Ayala has received a noose in the mail, and the assistant finance director of the Seminole County Clerk, Court, and Comptroller's Office wrote a message on Facebook that called for Ayala to be hung from a tree. The assistant finance director at the Seminole County Clerk of Court and Comptroller's Office wrote a message on Facebook that called for a Yela to be hung from a tree. The assistant after the release of the footage, people on Twitter said the stop was racial profiling. I wonder why I wonder why people think racial profiling is a problem. I wonder why. I mean, it hardly ever happens, right? You know, one of the things I've learned is that there are a lot of people out there who don't understand at all what goes on in this country. We have somebody in official capacity that writes publicly to a person with power. Hang her from a tree. And people say, Tim, there's no such thing as white privilege. There's no such thing. Racism is just a myth. You got jackasses like Larry Elder telling you racism is just a myth. It don't exist. You need to just get over yourselves. Look, I don't know if these guys were racially profiled, but it sounds like they did. Come on. It's what they do. It happens so often, it's not even a thing anymore. It's not even a thing. It's just the thing. It's not a thing. It's the thing. Driving while black has been around forever. Before it was driving while black, it was walking while black. Then before then, it was existing while black. Do you understand? Do you get it? Some people say they get it. They don't get it. They do not get it. Get it. Now, what I would like is these officers to, I don't know. Like I said before in the previous segment, we have a systemic problem with racism. We have a systemic problem in the training of our officers. They are there to make money for the state, period. The tent was dark, well, and also the person in the car was dark, hence the stop. For that and for all the other reasons listed in this video, this shitty officer is on my blacklist. Jesus. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Facebook, Twitter, Periscope. If you love this show, if you like this show, if you admire this show, if it's interesting, consider becoming a Patreon member that gives to the show. It would be very helpful. Go to TimBlackTV.com. You can click on stuff. You don't need to search for anything, or you can check on my channel on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell thing so you get the notifications for when I go live. Because, you know, sometimes I just pop in like now and do 10 stories, 13 stories in a row, and like you get everything you would get like in a real broadcast like on TV. But you actually get honesty because I'm not being paid to lie to you, and no one's telling me what I got to say in order to keep a job. Get it? So consider doing that, guys. Sign up, subscribe, and also follow my other friends that are on my YouTube channel, Hard Bastard, H.A. Goodman, and Nico House. I just saved the best for last. This one will be off the hook, okay? This is the last story of the night, but it will be my most favorite story. I saved it because I knew I would get a little tired at this point. But this, oh my God. This is beautiful. Welcome to Tim Black's Blacklist. Today, Donna Brazile. Yeah. I was sent this story by my friend Autumn, and I cannot believe what I was feasting my eyes upon. This is amazing. This is big. This is huge. This is, hot. Oh, man. Somebody get me a pot holder. I can't even hold the plate. I can't even hold the paperwork. I can't. Ooh, hot. This is a hot story, folks. This shit right here. Oh, man, come put it out, man, before you burn up my table. My table gonna be on fire. Wait till you hear this. I mean that sincerely. Donna Brazile to publish a book on 2016 entitled Hacks. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh. Donna Bazile, I want you to come on my show. Donna Bazile, I want you to talk to me about your new book. Oh, please come here and talk to me about your book. I have to hear about this. I have to hear this. I'm serious, guys. I'm not playing. You would think I was joking, right? That seems like, Tim, ain't no way. That's like the OJ book. Like when OJ said, I ain't do it, but if I did it, this is how I do it. It's like that type of book. Come on, man. Donna Bazile will celebrate the one-year anniversary of President Donald Trump's election with the publication of her book, Hacks, the inside story of the break-ins and breakdowns that put Donald Trump in the White House. Bazile was chosen as interim director or Democratic National Committee chair after the WikiLeaks release of internal party emails last year precipitated the resignation of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was fired for cheating. Bazile became a favorite target of Trump and his supporters after an email release in a separate hack appeared to show she slipped a question to Hillary Clinton ahead of the Democratic primary debates. Correction! She slipped two. And she ain't slip them, she gave them. She blamed Roland S. Martin and TV One. Roland S. Martin, you're in the hot seat right now anyway. Donna Bazile handed questions to Hillary that she used in debates ahead of time to help Hillary to win debates that were previously. They had 26 debates in 2012. In 2016, to help Hillary win the election, they had 6. 3 of those on a weekend. And on 2 of those, in three of those debates, or 2 of those debates, she had been given the questions ahead of time by Donna Bazile. And you write as if that is nothing. And you know what? It wasn't just Trump supporters. See what I mean, folks? It wasn't just Trump supporters who were upset about it. So were people who just like honesty, just people who want truth. In fact, I feel that Trump supporters were glad you gave them because it made people hate the Democrats. That's right. They weren't upset that Donna Bazile gave those questions to Hillary. They looked at it as a gift. It confirmed all of the allegations that Trump had been making about Hillary being crooked. Just because Hillary Clinton was given questions didn't mean she had to use them. But she did. Okay. But she did. All right. Brazil's publisher, Hachette, promises a book that is equal parts campaign thriller, memoir, and cookbook. And roadmap for the future. The publisher did not say how much the book deal was worth. $2. Bazile has kept up criticism of Trump since the election, but she has focused the most on keeping attention on Russian involvement. You don't say. Wouldn't it have been better, Bazile, if they were able to say that you kept up criticism of Trump, but your focus was on issues that matter to people besides Hillary? Wouldn't it have been nice for them to be able to say, she kept up criticism of Trump, but she was focused on issues that mattered to the 40% of black children living beneath the fucking poverty line? Wouldn't that be good to say? But no. What they had to say, which is the truth. You kept up criticism of Trump, but your focus has primarily been Russia. And I know you aren't elected to anything, but the fact that that's your focus means you have no focus. Donna Bazile went on to say, I've been a Democrat all my life. I feel sorry for you. But I'm an American first. At a moment when our democracy is in crisis, it's time to tell the truth about what went wrong in 2016. It's time to get some green, if you know what I mean. Our nation's under unprecedented assault from within, from lying and corrupt politicians and media. And if we don't get the facts out, it will happen again, and worse than you can imagine. Ooh, scary. It's going to be these little Trump little men come out the sky. They're going to jump out the planes. They're going to have axes. They're going to jump on us. And it's going to be like the Gremlins. Remember the Gremlins? No, Gremlins a long time ago. It's going to be like these little things that run around. They're going to eat your toes. They're going to eat the meat off your toes. Then they're going to jump into a Cadillac and drive away. Who buys this shit? Who does? You buy this? Do you buy this? Do you understand the words that's coming out of her mouth? Though she's one of the most experienced Democratic operatives in national politics and also the most lying, Brazile has said nothing prepared her for the revelations about Kremlin-directed activity to This is Politico wrote this. The Politico didn't write it. The writers on the Politico website who put this together. They spent time putting this shit. Somebody wrote this. Is there an honest statement in here? Honest statement in here at all? Is there an honest statement in here to be found? Oh God. I was scared. I was scared the first day and night. I went home that night. I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk to anybody because I couldn't even tell the staff what was happening to them. Man, this, there's a level of bullshit that it's, some people are full of shit. And I'm sorry. I know some people don't like cursing, but you're going to have to bear with me. If you don't want to hear it, I've already done it a couple times, but if you don't want to hear any more, leave now. There's a level of bullshit that we're sort of accustomed to with some politicians and some public figures. Like D.L. Hughley. Ranting about Trump. Trump. Like, well, okay, yeah, he sucks. Obama had the House and the Senate and the black attorney general for 2 years, and he didn't do shit to help you, to help people in your community, my community. Why weren't you saying something, DL? So there's a level of shit I'm used to. I'm used to the D.L. Hughley bullshit. And people that just like him. He's funny. Who like disinformation, who like stupid shit. People with no backbone. Very convenient to be courageous when it don't matter. I'm used to that. But then you have people like Donna Brazile. We're talking a whole nother level. D.L. Hughley bullshit. Donna Brazile's bullshit. It's just, there'd be guys looking at the room full of bullshit, just like squinting like, God, how'd you get all that bullshit in that room? Her level of bullshit is so high. It's off the Richter. There's Guinness Book of World Record level of bullshit. To be studied generation to generation of how much bullshit one human being can shovel and then keep a straight face and her tongue not divorce her mouth. Like, it's amazing. You are an amazing figure. Donna Brazile, you are something. Girl, you are something else. I want you to come on my show and talk to me about your book and how scared you was because they said, because it's bullshit. You know it. I know it. I don't care if these powerful people in the Democratic Party don't like me. Because you know what? I sleep just fine because I'm not a liar. And I don't deceive people for money. I don't deceive people in order to maintain notoriety or gain notoriety or any of that. What you do and what y'all been doing is you're going to pay for that. And it's not going to be losing because you don't care if you lose. Obviously. You are going to lose in 2020 because you are losers, because you don't care about what the people want. But Donna Brazile, you are a special kind of bullshit artist. And I will give you this. You have elevated it to an art form. That, for so many reasons, I can't even fit into one video. Sort of like the bullshit you shovel cannot fit into one person's ass. You have made my blacklist. Woo! Man, it takes a level. Guys, I'm serious, man. That is some special. That is special. Man, you have to be a dedicated lie machine. Like an automatic weapon. Oh no, the lies are coming. She shoots the lies out. Debbie Wasserman too. We're not biased at all. But if we wanted to be biased, there's so many ways we can be biased. I'm sure. Sort of like that lover that cheats on you is like, I didn't cheat on you, man. I never cheat on you, baby. Now, if I was going to cheat on you, I wouldn't have came in here smelling like somebody else's vagina. I would have came in here smelling like soap. That motherfucker is cheating on you. These people lie a lot. Rugs. Like rugs, just lie. There are a lot of them. Lord have mercy. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into this extended, long overdue news wrap. I got a lot of stuff accomplished tonight, was able to get out a lot of content. Hopefully we'll be able to cut it up and disseminate it across the internet. I appreciate you so much, guys, for being here. I really do. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will see me again for Tim Black at Night show. We will still do my show. And I just want you to know, man, what you cannot do is...
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
You cannot fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I'm trying to tell you, most of these stories were full of bananas and tailpipes. Lies. If people fall for them, do not fall for them. There will not be an impeachment of Trump. There will not be an impeachment of Trump. What there will be is a money grab for Democrats that will continue because we have not stood up to them and said unequivocally, we're not buying this. Bring the evidence and get the hell out the way. We got other fish to fry. We got other issues in this country besides Putin. Putin don't live here. He get more attention than our veterans dying in the street. Do you understand that? Do you get what I'm saying? That should not last. You Democrats, wake up and hold your party accountable. Republicans, wake up and realize you've been led by morons. They just happen to be winning right now. They're not better. They're not better. They're horrible too, okay? Just because they're less corrupt, a little bit less corrupt than the Democrats, does not make them better. It's like saying, oh, I want to eat the termite sandwich, or I want to eat the, I don't know, the cockroach sandwich. This is both horrible. You won't want to eat either sandwich. You want to drink some water, go home, and just take the L. Take the L. So anyway, guys, that's what it is. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to Momo Pineda, my graphic designer, my friends who, my moderators, Iron Man Oz, Momo Pineda as well. And I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Until we meet again.
Let's sprinkle some crack on them and get out of here.
I'm gone.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.